Okay, it is started.
Okay, very good. Rocco, can we do introductions of the subcommittee members? I don't know who else is here.
Yeah, sure. So um, we can start. Just go down the list, I guess. Mr. Keyser.
Yes.
Okay.
Great. Let's see. Uh, Judy Dixon.
Yes, I am here.
Great. Let's see. Cynthia Johnson Oliver. I also see.
Present.
Rebecca Bridges.
I am present.
Okay. And that is all the subcommittee members I see.
So James Mountain and Daniel Leslie are not here.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, very good. Hopefully they will join. There are 5 of us here, however, and we do have a quorum to conduct business. So hopefully they'll be coming soon. Do you want to introduce the county staff?
Sure. So I'll just start, I guess. Hello, my name is Rocco Visconti. I am one of the planners for Arlington Transit for the ART bus system and for STAR. I can pass it over to Clinton Edwards.
Good evening, everyone. Clinton Edwards, Transit Services Manager, Arlington Transit.
Okay.
And I'll pass it over to Pierre.
Great.
Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. It's Pierre Holloman, and I'm the Chief of Arlington Transit, and I'll pass it on to Josh.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Josh. I am the Transit Technology Manager at Arlington Transit and STAR.
Great. And then that is everyone from the county. So I'll move on to We Drive You.
Yes.
Great. We have Ashley.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Ashley Fernandez, the General Manager with We Drive You.
And Leslie.
Hey, I'm Leslie Stone. I work in the Customer Success Department, supporting the county.
Okay. And then we have the STAR Call Center. So we have Sheila.
Hi, Sheila Hill, General Manager at the Arlington Call Center.
And we have Mary.
Good evening, everyone. Mary Blyther from the Customer Service Desk over at the STAR Call Center.
And just joined us from We Drive You, we have Luis.
Hello.
Good afternoon, everyone.
I believe you have Linda Matrice. I'm a STAR rider.
Okay. Thank you. We do have 2 phone numbers. So thank you, Linda. And that is everyone else. So
Okay.
I could just
All right.
read off the second phone number.
Yes, why don't you do that?
Sure, that's a phone number ending in 2724. You're welcome to introduce yourself if you would like.
Okay, well, I guess not. But I do want to welcome everyone, the county staff, the We Drive You folks, the call center folks, everybody. So welcome and thank you for coming. Okay, we have time set aside for public comment. And do either member of the public want to make some comments of 2 or 3 minutes? If you could do that, you're welcome to do so at this time. I'm not hearing any desire for public comment. Okay.
I don't see any.
All right. So, all right, we will move forward then. The next item
I'm
on
sorry,
the
Roseanne.
yes.
This is Rebecca. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I just had a question. If committee members have comments, do we wait on those? I'm still figuring this out.
Yeah, and it's not really clear, and we don't have a specific procedure for that. I usually do it as we get into business. The first item of business after we approve the minutes is the update on STAR services, and I was going to give folks a chance to, air their concerns at that time, if that's okay. Okay.
Nope, thank you.
So let's look at approving the minutes. Now, on this agenda that I have, it says we need to approve the May minutes, but Rocco, you told me those were approved, right? You reminded me about that.
Yes, I apologize. That's an error.
Okay.
We've already approved the minutes for May, so it's just July.
And they're posted as well to the website. Are
Yes,
they
they
posted?
should be.
Great.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the July minutes, which were the minutes of our special meeting. And I wonder if anyone has any comments or concerns about those minutes.
I move to approve them as submitted.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second from Linda Matthews.
Okay, it has to be a member of the committee, Linda.
Okay, it's Judy. I can second. It's Judy.
Okay, fair, very good. Thanks. I did have one comment that I just want to share, and it's maybe just a grammatical thing or whatever. There was some sentence in here that talked about we were unhappy with the Spare app because it was like Uber or something, and I thought, I don't think we said that. I like the Uber app personally. So I'm not quite sure what was meant by that. I don't know if anyone else picked up on that or not. But I would.
Was that because there is an option in here to schedule a trip and then you try to do it and it's like we don't allow same-day trips. Is that what people were talking about?
I don't remember, truthfully, and it might have been just a misunderstanding. But we don't have a problem with the Spare app because it's like the Uber app. That's not the reason. Rocco, are you able to look for those words in there?
Yeah, I can definitely look back at the transcript to see what was actually said regarding that. But if it was captured in error, I can correct it before it goes out.
Yeah, just eliminate that reference to, but no other technical comments on the minutes. Okay, then I ask for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. Aye. Okay, we moved on. So very good. And again, thank you so much for capturing the concerns. And I really think, Rocco, I believe this is your work, and we really appreciate having a record of that and having it be posted on the website as well. This is very, very good.
You're welcome.
So the first item is the update on STAR services, and I know the county staff have some updates they definitely want to share with us, but why don't we take a few minutes and talk to or ask the committee members who have concerns that they want to share about STAR services at this point. So Rebecca, did you want to share something?
Yeah, I had a couple quick things. I just a few points. The first is that there have been a few times in particularly the last week, where I have attempted to schedule trips in the app, and I'm told that there are no rides available. In the app, it says, sorry, no rides available during this time. And I guess there are a couple of issues I have with this. One is, what is that pulling from? Is it just the We Drive You vehicles, meaning that they won't schedule it unless there's a We Drive You vehicle available because user can, accept or deny things at will, or so I don't know. And then relatedly, by the way, I haven't seen a user since the Star app launched, and I'd love to see one. I've only had We Drive Yous. Related to this potentially is the fact that it's funny that there are no trips available when I've had 2 drivers tell me recently that their hours have been cut. And so I'm curious about that also. That seems interesting that we're not being served and yet their hours are being cut reportedly. So it's not just one person, it's 2 that I've heard this from.
Yeah.
Did you have a question about that? Because I was going to make one more point, but if it's related to that.
No, but I just want to make sure that the county addresses these concerns. I certainly have never heard of no rides being available, so I'm not quite sure why you're getting that message, and I would be concerned about that for sure. So I'd like the county to address it.
Yeah, and I would like to hear that too. And then the hours being cut is curious too. Um, but when I've called in those instances, I've like waited a little bit and called Star, and then I can get them on the phone. So is the issue with the app, or is the issue that there really are no rides available, or is the issue that there weren't in that minute that I tried, and then at 5 minutes later something got shifted? So that's curious. The final thing that I would say, and I know that the county did address this with me personally, but I do want to bring it up just in public that there continues, since July, there continues to be a concern about just a lack of pride in the cleanliness of the vehicles. You can often tell what people eat for lunch. There's, bags everywhere in some of the vehicles. People just, it's messy. I have, there was a situation that I rode in the same vehicle going to and from a specific location where there was vomit on the seat, and it was noticeable. My child sat in it. So, and I know, and in this particular situation, the the driver, I think this particular person, I know it's been addressed, but this particular driver is very difficult to deal with, period, end. And so then you add that to the list, and so it's a mounting personnel issue. um so I just want to bring that up, that if you were, you just can't count on riding in a clean vehicle that looks and smells clean. um and I able-bodied people would never tolerate that. Thank you.
And that's another issue. I think I'd like to hear the county's response. I know there have been some actions taken regarding cleanliness, but I want to understand what those are. I personally would like to take just a minute and comment on the app as well. Now, I have not personally used it for a while, but I have been told by riders that the app often gives incorrect information. For instance, oftentimes people will be told that that their ride is outside, but it's not outside. Or they're told it'll be there within 20 minutes and it's there within 2 minutes. So there's some problem with how the information is being transmitted, and it's adding confusion. And I just think that I've always been a strong proponent of good communication and clear communication, and this apparently is not always occurring with the app. So I want to bring that up. Do other committee members have comments they want to make on the services at this point?
Miss Judy here.
Yeah, Judy?
Recently, I became aware that it is, well, I will call it a practice, not necessarily a policy, of STAR that service animals are to ride in We Drive You vans. The way I learned about this is a rather long and complicated story, so I'll try to make it really brief. But I had called Star to tell them that a friend and I were going to the same place and we lived near each other, and that they encouraging them to share our ride. We had previously gotten permission from Star to talk about one another, and the woman, now that they can see real-time booking, she said, "Well, you're on, you have UServe and she has a van, and I can't put you on because she has a service animal." I said, "Oh, really? I have a service animal also." So she ended up, "Oh, well, that's not in your profile. It's only in your notes." And she added it to my profile, and the system immediately put me in a van. The long and the short of this is we both ended up going to the same place at the same times in two separate We Drive You vans, both directions. And the system did not put us together, even though she twiddled around with the times trying to make it put us together. And it all had to do with how the system is programmed to manage people with service animals.
And so clearly there's a couple of issues here. I mean, one of them is that this is blatantly discriminatory. We are not supposed to deny people with service animals access to use their vehicles, and that should just not be occurring, whether it's policy or practice or whatever it is. So I hope we can address that tonight as well.
Maybe that's why we haven't seen a U-serve.
It probably is.
Since
Well,
May.
yeah, so and the other I'm sorry, I was gonna say another comment
the other
about
issue
that.
is sharing.
Yes,
If
yes,
we
exactly.
suggest a share, it's bad enough when we get share rides that don't make any sense, but we suggest one
Right.
that does make sense, and then they don't
Right.
avail themselves.
No, that was my other thought too, Judy. I'm sorry, I lost my train of
Yeah.
thought there for a second. But yeah, I mean, we used to be able to suggest reasonable share rides when two people were going to the same place or coming from the same place or whatever, and that we were accommodated. And I thought that's good for the program. It's efficient, as well. But now apparently that's not allowed. So
Well, apparently the computer's now doing this matching and scheduling and so forth, and humans aren't involved. And I think the programming, Mr. Star Technology guy, needs to be looked at.
Right. And we talked last time, and in fact, it was in the minutes even, about having the ability to have a human being override whatever the app or the program is coming up with, and I think this is a good example of why that's necessary. So I want to make sure, though, we have James Mountain has joined us. Welcome, James. Do any of the other committee members have concerns that they want to bring forward?
Yes, this is Cynthia Johnson Oliver.
Hi, Cynthia.
Hi. I wanted to echo two concerns that have already been raised. The first is the no rides available prompt or notification on the app. That has happened to me a couple of times. In one instance, I called the Star call center and was able to schedule the ride at the call center for the time that I wanted. But on the day of the trip, there seemed, in fact, that there were no rides available because it took about an hour when the driver was about an hour late. And I called, this was on the weekend, so I called We Drive You, and they said that they were still looking for a driver for me. And they, I called back, they said it'll be another 10 minutes. I'll call back. They said it'll be another 10 minutes or so. So yeah, in total, it took a little over an hour for them to come and pick me up. So I would like to also know what's going on with that. And then the other issue that I want to echo is the tracking and the accuracy of the tracking on the app. I did follow the tracking on my way home one day, and it definitely was not in sync with where we were. And in fact, by the time I arrived, just outside of my door, it said that I was 9 minutes away. So I think it does merit some looking at the tracking, the accuracy of the tracking.
Thank you. Anything else, Kent or James? Anything you want to share?
Roseanne, this is Kent.
Oh, Kent, go ahead. Kent, go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to follow up on the human override issue and suggest that drivers ought to be able to override the system when they see that the routing doesn't make any sense in terms, especially of shared rides. In my instance, where I was almost to my location and then had to backtrack, to almost where I came from, or at least cross over the path I came from, it didn't make any sense at all. So that would alleviate those kind of poorly scheduled trips, shared ride.
Absolutely. And James, did you also have a comment?
I do, thanks. Yeah, I'm usually the first person to complain about things here, but I had a good experience yesterday. I wanted to share that. But first of all, Shelley and the call center people I had to make a change yesterday, and I appreciate them accommodating that. And then my ride last night was fantastic. Dante, who's my favorite driver, was on time and went slowly over the bumps because he drives the big van usually, and wheelchairs are all the way in the back where it's verbally bumpy. So anyway, good experience for me in this case, and just wanted to point that out. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I think now, I don't know who's going to be giving the STAR update, but if you could try to address some of these concerns as we go, because these are not new concerns. So they were in the minutes, many of them from our last meeting. So hopefully you've been able to work on these things. So who wants to talk to us about the update?
Yeah.
All right, Chair Aspie, I'll pass it over to Rocco in one moment, just to capture just the essence of the committee's concerns. Several things about the ride app, no rides available, tracking accuracy, the ability for the operator to override the system. We had vehicle cleanliness, service animals, and shared rides. In the presentation that Rocco is about to provide, we're going to cover a myriad of topics in advance of the topics that you provided, and then we will have to add in some of those answers and get some of the answers directly from We Drive You. And I'll finish up with the service animals because we were just having a discussion about that. So I will.
The other thing would be the cutting of the hours. Like what's going on with that? Because that may impact the rides available and some of those other issues.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm wondering. Is there a lack of vehicles, a lack of drivers? What is going on? That seems strange. And I'm going to just throw one other thing out, Clinton, and that is we had heard at one point that We Drive You was going to be getting some new vehicles. Has that occurred? When will that occur? We're already, 9 months into this contract, so I really need to hear about that too.
Okay, I'll make a note when Rocco gets the vehicle cleanliness, we'll add in vehicles because everything that we have in the presentation captures everything except for cutting the hours.
Okay.
And shared rides.
Okay. All right. Well, let's.
I'm sorry, cutting the hours and the service animals.
Very good. Okay. Rocco?
Okay. Yeah, so based on the email that you sent me prior to the agenda, where you suggested certain topics you'd like to see expounded upon for the meeting, I prepared a presentation to go over those points and hopefully provide some updates on those. So here, present. Okay, is it full screen for you, or is it still the multiple?
I don't know. Daniel and not James and Kent. Can you see the screen?
Yes, looks good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great.
There we go.
Awesome.
There's
full screen now. Awesome. Okay. So some STAR updates for the Transit Accessibility Subcommittee meeting, September 9th. Updates to service. So the first thing is I wanted to go over the vehicle cleanliness procedures that have been installed into the STAR service. The current procedures, they are that the interior of the vehicles, we have an interior cleaner who comes every morning, Monday through Friday. He is there from 4 a.m. to noon, and mainly focusing on the interior of the vehicles. Then there is a deep cleaning of the vehicles that occurs in the first weekend of every month. The latest deep cleaning was this past weekend. And it includes a full interior cleaning and upholstery cleaning. And then there's an exterior cleaning that happens through a third party every weekend. And I want to add to that we are provided documentation for these cleaning occurring from the cleaners that do them, as well as we drive you who receives the documentation. Clinton, I know you wanted to add that piece to this section, so I don't know if you wanted to
What
add
about
on to this
daily?
before I moved on.
So you're saying every morning this occurs with all of the vehicles? Is that Sheila? It looks like Sheila's trying to speak. Am I correct?
I'm sorry, I can't see the teams because the
presentation. Okay.
Sheila, go ahead, Sheila.
Thank you, Rose. Rocco, did you say 4 a.m. to 12 p.m. or
Yes.
4 p.m.?
No, a.m.
Oh, okay. Because all right, thank you.
Okay. So yeah, so these cleanings have started to occur, but was I to understand, Rebecca, that things are still not clean, not in the last week or two? Am I right about what you were saying, Rebecca?
I'm sorry. So when is this, I mean, when were these procedures implemented would be my question, because there's cleanliness stuff in the contract. So what has happened in the past about violating that? Because I'm certain that that's an issue. But when were these procedures implemented? And then second question would be, what about what part of this falls on the driver, and how often are they supposed to clean the vehicle?
So, well, firstly, we have always had these cleaning procedures as part of the contract, and so they've always been a part of this. And in terms of the driver is supposed to check the vehicle for.
So there are no specific policy for the driver. Is that what I'm hearing? That it's like, hey, if you think it's dirty, like people have different standards. I mean, as far as that's concerned.
May I check in? Ashley, could you address that as far as the operator's responsibility for keeping a tidy vehicle during their shift?
Yes, so it is the utility worker. Our utility worker is the one that's in at 4 a.m. And he cleans it every morning, and then he also does the deep cleaning on the weekend prior. Now, as far as the operators, they are to ensure, one of the things that we remind them is no eating or drinking on the vehicle. In the case that there is a spill by the customer at any point, they call that in. And what we usually do is we have them return to the yard so that we can clean the vehicle at that time. We have had that happen times before, that we may have picked up someone from dialysis and they were still bleeding, or a sick child, or things of that sort. And what we do is we have them return to base. But the drivers are to ensure that their vehicles are kept clean throughout the shift. But they're usually just kind of nonstop going, picking people up back and forth throughout their shift. But the vehicles are cleaned every morning by our utility worker Monday through Fridays, and then there is a deep cleaning the first weekend of every month.
So my question is then, who is responsible for inspecting the cleaner's job and the driver's vehicles? Who does the inspection?
We have a
How
road supervisor and our ops manager do assist on the lot outside, and they do the check on behind the
Okay.
utility worker.
Okay.
It feels like the policy for the driver though is a little bit squishy. Okay. So I would encourage We Drive You to implement some procedure where after every trip you need to inspect the vehicle. Here's when you bring it in, or here's when you clean it yourself. I mean, this seems, if you leave it up, if you leave people to their own devices, that's problematic.
Yeah,
Clearly,
I
in my
mean,
experience.
yeah, and maybe we can't inspect after every trip, but there certainly needs to be regular inspections because,
Right. Throughout a
um,
shift.
yeah, yeah. So,
And to their
okay.
credit, I do see some drivers doing that. Like I have seen, if I get out of the car, sometimes they'll sweep or whatever, if you have a service animal or whatever. Like I've seen them do that, but not everyone does that. So anyway, thank you.
Okay. What else? What's our next item,
Okay.
Rocco?
So the next.
Could we address let me make sure that I'm on mute. Just quickly, I know Chair Aspie, you inquired about the vehicle procurement. While we're
Yeah,
on vehicle cleanliness, before we go
right.
over to vehicle procurement,
Mhm.
the STAR call center, as a part of their contractual obligation, they do inspections on vehicle cleanliness as well. So it's not just the responsibility of We Drive You. The STAR
Okay.
call center is out also doing spot
I,
checks as well.
I did not know that. Okay. It's good to
Yes.
know.
Ashley or Leslie, do you have any update as far as vehicle procurement is concerned? That was a question raised by the chair.
Sure, absolutely. I do know that we have three low mileage vehicles that are being transferred from another location next month. And in terms of the new vehicle procurement, the CapEx, which is the capital expense procurement request that we make to group to be able to to spend the money, that document has been submitted. We got some feedback questions on it this week, and I was asked to provide a little bit more information on the contract, and all of that will go back to the reviewer this week. So I would expect that we would have an update around October the 1st about what that looks like.
And can I ask, please, how many vehicles do you currently have in the STAR program that you're using actively now?
Well,
Thought at one time.
there's a mixed fleet, and when I was looking at the vehicles that needed to go through and be to be reviewed, there were 22 that I looked at, but there are
Okay.
some others that were not part of that vehicle group. And probably Ashley could speak to every single vehicle that sits on that lot, but there's more than one contract that operates out of the lot.
I see. Okay. All right.
Clinton,
What else?
did you need any more information on that?
No,
I
I mean,
think
oh, I'm sorry. I think someone's hand is raised. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
Sheila has her hand
Oh,
raised.
okay. Sheila, go ahead.
Ashley, exactly how many vehicles are on the lot that's on the Arlington contract?
There's 16 that are dedicated, but we do have an additional like 6 that in the case that we have too many that are out of service or have any issues, we can still use on the Arlington contract.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right, let's move forward. Rocco?
All right, I'll move to the next slide on the presentation. And it was a request about providing more information for the trips. So the current notifications we give to riders are when they create a ride request, when the driver is over 5 minutes late, when it's canceled due to a no-show, the driver is arriving, um, or the rider requests a cancellation, just confirming with them that they have requested that. And currently the over 5 minute late notification will provide the current estimate of time when the driver is running late. So we're also creating a new notification for when the ride is 15 minutes, because we have heard that at 5 minutes it gives an estimate, but if the lateness of the vehicle progresses, that estimate may not be accurate. And there may be it may not be the most reliable time to go off of if it continues to be late. So continuing to update the rider as it progresses, if it continues to be late, is something we want to continue to notify them of.
That's good. I will say though that the accuracy of the arrival, like when it says your vehicle is arriving, that is not always accurate. That's I was saying that in my comments. So this is something you need to check on. I mean, so the notification may be there, but it's not accurate.
Right. Specifically regarding the accuracy of the vehicle arriving and the timing and the location, we also have an update for that going forward.
Okay, good. So an update that you're going to share tonight, or an update?
No, tonight on this presentation.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Okay. Okay. Is there any questions on this one, or should I move on?
I think we can move on.
Okay. Okay. So this is specifically regarding what improvements are being made to the STAR app, what changes troubleshooting is being done from the feedback we've heard. So electronic payment with debit and credit card is still being actively developed because the financial details of said payment are being worked out. And we expect it to be fully delivered this year. But we are very, very much underway of implementing that as part of the app. And then regarding the incorrect pickup location and time of pickup issue that has been happening recently, as mentioned, there was a problem identified with the Google Maps API that was being used for the application. And it was identified by the Spares technology team, and it was corrected. The issue was a majority of the rides that this was affecting were user rides, but it was affecting some We Drive You rides as well. So we have just recently corrected this issue, this error that was identified with the Google Maps API. And as far as we're aware, this has corrected the incorrect pickup times and pickup location that was being reported through the app and through notifications. In our testing and in our feedback, we haven't seen this occurring, but obviously if this continues in the future, please submit a complaint or let us know somehow if this continues to be an issue of incorrect information being delivered through the app.
Okay, so how recently was this fixed? Just so we'll have a sense of.
It was in the last week, last 2 weeks.
Okay.
It was very recently.
So from here forward, we should be
Yes.
reporting those things. Okay.
Definitely, if this continues in terms of incorrect pickup locations or incorrect pickup times, this should be reported to us so we know it's still going on.
Okay. All right. Any questions on that? Or can we go forward here? I guess we can continue.
Okay. Continuing with that, some current features that we do have in development and we're looking at both at Spare and with Arlington, like some of these features are in development with Spare, and some of these features are under consideration from the county. So currently, they're implementing Google Maps traffic data into Spare. So this will incorporate into operations and routing and allow us to use the traffic data provided by Google Maps in real time to give estimates and route the trips more efficiently to respond to crashes or to times of extreme traffic volume. And as well, changes to the parameters of the Spare operations and routing to reduce the ride times in vehicles. So through the data we have from all the rides conducted since Spare launched, the majority of riders are still experiencing short ride times, but certainly we've noted there's a few cases of unreasonably long rides occurring. And we're working to correct that. There are certain parameters in Spare that could be changed to hopefully reduce that occurring in the future. So we hope that both those things together, the Google Maps data as well, will be able to reduce ride times even further, especially for rides that we agree have been unreasonably long in the past.
So hopefully
Suzanne,
we
I
can
just
look
had a
forward
quick.
to. Yes, go ahead,
I'm
Rebecca.
sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
go
I was
ahead.
looking for the raise hand button. Um, I just wanted to point out a point of clarification, and Rocco, you raised something that I think is important in that Spare, the Spare app does not belong to Star. It belongs to We Drive You. And I just want to point that out. I think that's important because they're a subcontractor to We Drive You. That's my understanding. Is that accurate?
Yes, they are a subcontractor to We Drive You.
Okay. I think that's important because, Star may have features such as, well, interim trips, for example, the quick stop trips that still have yet to be implemented that are not there because Spare is not doing it for anyone else. So I just want to make that clear that that could be, maybe fine, maybe a point of
This is about it.
contention,
I'm
but
unmuted.
just wanted to bring that up
Okay.
just so everybody knew.
Yeah, no, thank you for doing that. James, did you need to say something or want to say something? I thought I heard your voice.
No, I'm sorry. No.
That's okay. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay, go ahead, Rocco, because then when you finish your presentation, we may still have some questions, but go ahead.
Sure. And then safety. You were asking about safety and what we have been doing regarding safety. There was a noted uptick in safety complaints at the beginning of 2025. And certainly through the subcommittee as well, we have noted issues around safety, specifically traffic safety as well. So we have recertified all operators in safe operation, and we have held multiple rounds of retraining for all We Drive You staff in safe operation and traffic safety. Additionally, we are going to be implementing new security cameras, upgraded security cameras. The current security cameras that are on We Drive You vehicles are for crashes. So when a crash is detected in the vehicle, it will save 1 minute, I believe, of footage in both before and after to provide documentation of the crash. And that is what is legally provided for us to collect, or legally like mandated for us to collect for, for liability and for crashes and stuff. But we're implementing 24/7 rolling security camera recording. So to allow the county and supervisors and the call center to review footage from the security cameras in the event that we receive specific complaints or need to review specific sections of trips for review or for footage. So that will allow us to actually view recordings of what occurs in the vehicles. Additionally, we have been doing safe operation monitoring via the comment portal and via all reported accidents and incidents, as well as the monthly spot inspections that happen with the Star Call Center, the secret shopper inspections, in which a Star Call Center staff will ride the vehicle to observe anonymously observe the safety record of the driver, or the safety traffic safety. Additionally, we've implemented biweekly accident and incident safety meetings.
And those meetings are with the drivers, or who are those meetings with?
The biweekly accident and incident safety meetings are between the county, the We Drive You staff, and the Star Call Center.
Okay.
And then we hold weekly complaint and comment meetings to review specific complaints. Oops, I accidentally clicked something. We hold weekly complaint and comment meetings to review specific complaints with the Star Call Center and the county, as well as the We Drive You staff. Okay.
Are there any questions or comments on the safety considerations? Because I know we talked about these extensively earlier on in the year. Any questions on these? No, I'm not hearing any. No. So let's move forward. Kent, I'm sorry. Yes, go ahead.
Rocco, as Roseanne asked, so the drivers are not getting the safety training? Is that what I heard? Or
no. I mean, per the second bullet, we have recertified all operators in safe operation training, and we have been holding regular retraining for all We Drive You staff, which includes supervisors and the operators together.
Okay.
Specifically, what we're talking about is the review of incident. So, we have procedures internally for developing reporting in the event that there are incidents or accidents that occur on board vehicles while they're in operation for STAR. And we have biweekly meetings to address any incidents or accidents that occurred between the call center, the staff at We Drive You, and the county.
Have there been crashes?
I'm sorry?
Have there been accidents and crashes?
There have not been any crashes this year.
And can I ask a question about your tackling the spare application? Is someone from spare looking at the parameters, or is it somebody from county staff doing that?
It's both the county staff, spare, and We Drive You. All it's not any one person making the decision.
Okay. So someone there is looking at it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And are there opportunities for STAR to request features of the app because it's contractually, because these things are programmatically provided, that Spare is not doing for other, DOT and whoever else you roll it out to?
I mean, certainly, we have had the opportunity to request, or the county has the opportunity to request features from directly to Spare, and um, we have done that.
And are
We
these
have made requests.
prioritized at all, or are they prioritized based on what Spare's doing for everyone else because they're not your client, they're We Drive You's client?
Well, obviously, that would have to be on a case by case basis for the features being implemented. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I wouldn't say I can't speak directly to any specific um, any specific requests made.
That would be the quick stop trip would be one.
Yeah, which obviously has not occurred yet. The change has not occurred in the app, I'm understanding.
No.
So,
And Roseanne, can I ask one more question, please?
certainly.
Rocco, is the contract available for public viewing now?
Yes, I believe in the meeting in May or in March, it was we emailed it afterwards to the subcommittee, the link to the
I
contract.
think I
I think
I
it
have it.
was. I think it was
Yeah.
emailed.
Okay.
Yes. And if would it be helpful, Kent, for him to resend that?
No, if he's got it. I just
Okay.
didn't remember that.
Okay. I understand. I get it.
Lots of emails.
Yeah. Okay. Rocco, do you have more for us?
Yes. So I don't know if what you would prefer, Roseanne, but currently the star metrics and the star data are after the audit. I have it in this presentation, so I could do it now.
Okay. I do want to just give Clinton a chance. So he was going to address the service animal issue, and I don't want us to forget that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So Clinton, could I ask you to talk about that?
Yes, ma'am. So for the service animal issue, it is UServe's policy, and we were just discussing this earlier. UServe's policy is that they will transport persons with service animals. So the expectation is that if a star passenger is traveling with a service animal, they should have the expectation that they could either receive a user vehicle or a We Drive You vehicle. And I was looking at the exact policy as far as service animals and their exact procedure, but they explicitly say their drivers cannot deny a ride to someone whom has a service animal.
Okay, so UServe is acting legally in the correct way, but is there some policy then within the STAR program that needs to be fixed? It sounds like there is.
There is not. When it is our expectation, and similar to the cutting of the hours, I was emailing Ashley. There hasn't been any labor reduction. When a trip is scheduled, they are contractually obligated to provide their trip. So there is no policy that says that there's no policy from the county standpoint that says that if a passenger with a service animal can only get a We Drive You vehicle.
Well then, okay, so go ahead, Judy.
Yeah, it's not necessarily an issue of policy. It's an issue of how the software that schedules rides is programmed. And I think that's where the problem lies.
Okay. We haven't heard back from during the course of this meeting, we contacted the Spare representative. So we need to follow up with the committee on no rides available, because of right now we haven't heard back from her about no rides available. And then we'll also ask about the service animals. Is there something within the Spare app that would kick and please correct me if I'm wrong, that would kick a trip scheduled through Spare that would kick the trip to We Drive You only vehicles?
Is that the software that the STAR agents are using to schedule trips?
Yes, the STAR agents would be using the Spare app as well to schedule the trips.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So yeah, so we need to find out about that. for sure. Okay.
Absolutely. We'll make sure that is not any customization that was requested or should be in there at all. So, but
No,
we'll
it
get
shouldn't.
clarification there that
But
on no
but
rides available or service animals.
but I will say it's gratifying to know that you serve is acting appropriately
Well,
and legally.
Yes.
I mean, we would have a major issue if they had any other policy. And I mean,
Indeed.
it's almost a matter of they don't even need to have such a policy because
Right.
otherwise they'd be
Right.
violating the law.
Yeah, they'd be in
Exactly.
violation of
Yeah.
ADA regulations, and that
Right.
is
Yeah.
nothing
Yes.
that we would tolerate.
Okay. Can I have a time check? And I know, Rocco, you have data to talk to us about and the audit.
Yes.
I do want to hear that.
601.
So,
It
oh,
is
okay.
601.
All right.
Yes, I have data specifically regarding the star metrics on this PowerPoint. And then we also have the star audit. I'm sure you also saw that in the main TAC, we have a 30-minute section on another presentation specifically on the star audit to the TAC as well tonight.
Okay.
That is a full 30-minute presentation.
Okay. And I hope everyone knows you are all welcome to attend the TAC. Anyone can attend the TAC meeting. I don't know if you're interested in doing that, but it is open.
Mhm.
Well, is there anything you can kind of summarize for us quickly? I mean, I know
Sure. There's certainly I'll just very quickly go over some of the data then. This is just the star metrics report available. This is available on our website for June and July. So there were 3,206 trips completed in June and 3,480 trips completed in July. The on-time percentage for June was 96, and the on-time percentage for July was 98. The amount of trips that a rider had to wait 30 minutes past the pickup window was 32 in June and 10 in July. Let's see. The number of trips canceled by provider and by customer rose from June to July from 297 in June to 572 in July, and from 196 in June to 306 in July. A large number of these were from the 4th of July specifically, because service was not run on the 4th. Let's see. Calls received. There were 2,016 calls received and 2,096 calls received in June and July, with very close to all of them being answered, 1,980 being answered in June and 2,058 being answered in July. Okay, so that is the metrics. And then quickly as well, some metrics pulled directly from Spare. This number, on-time percentage here, is different than the one put in the previous slide, because it includes different metrics that have to be taken out from the reports provided from Spare when calculating. But just going off of bookings completed through Spare for June and July, the mean wait time for a vehicle to pick up was 23.98 minutes, and the median wait time for a vehicle to pick you up was 19.68 minutes, and the average travel time was 21.42 minutes. The number of bookings from Star rose from about 2% in June to 6.23% now of the amount of bookings made through the app, I should say. So we are seeing more and more adoption of the app as time progresses. And the average review and rating from riders who left a review, because you're able to leave a review through the mobile app in a similar manner to Uber or Lyft. The average review of drivers was 86 out of 100.
Has there been any data on the complaints received? Do you have anything that you can share with us on that during
Yeah.
these 2 months?
Let's see. I did not include it in this
I
presentation.
understand. Right.
We have the metrics on complaints. Actually, we have complaint metrics in our report to the TAC.
Okay.
Because we are doing ART and STAR data.
Right.
But I
Okay.
could share that with you now if you would prefer.
Well, yeah, just briefly, I'd like to know if we're seeing fewer complaints than we were back in the winter, you know?
Yes. Let me just pull that up.
While Rocco pulls that up, I'll go ahead and just pull up just an overview of where we are with the audit and the findings. This will just be a preview of the presentation to the TAC tonight. Unless you have that data available.
Yeah, actually, I apologize. It was actually on that PowerPoint I shared. It was just at the bottom by the calls on the previous slide. Yes, it is here. Okay. So on the bottom, complaints received in June were 23, and then in July it was 13. So month to month we are seeing fewer complaints than we were seeing at the start of this year.
Well, that's good. And we have certainly, if tonight's an indication, we're having fewer public comments from customers who are not happy. So that's a good thing. I don't know, Clinton, how much longer, how much do you have to share that, another 5 minutes? I'm trying to be conscious of the time.
Oh,
here,
yeah, I can do this in 5 minutes just to give really a brief overview of where we are right now. I'll be done in 5 minutes. All right, this is just previewing the work we've done so far. Finding number 1, performance metrics did not cover the accurate oversight of the STAR program. The audit finding talked about the existing metrics failed to demonstrate that STAR is meeting its program goals. This finding is more contractual in nature, talking about we need to strengthen performance metrics, establish a formula, develop a formal process, work with We Drive You and TransDev, and use data to monitor program performance. And here are our actions taken so far: strengthening the language around safety, implementing the unified trip management system, and updating the rider development. The actions in development, the ADA compliance checklist, and then that last bullet, the third bullet under actions and development, to strengthen oversight over STAR, contract modifications are being developed to more rigidly define liquidated damage thresholds. Rocco and I met with the manager of customer success for We Drive You 2 weeks ago to talk about the contract modifications that came out of the audit. So that is under development, and we have floated that idea out there that we will be looking to do some contract modifications. This one is probably going to be the longest of all of them. We have a certain amount of time that we have put in our management response as far as being responsive, but this of course requires a modification to the contract between the county and We Drive You, and of course those parties and their legal teams coming to terms. But we have introduced that conversation and started taking actions to do the non-contractual modifications. Finding 204, the bill amounts for paratransfers are not consistent with the contract terms. You all are familiar with this about the overbilling that happened from FY20 until November of 2024. We were immediately able to fix that challenge with the December 2024 bill when We Drive You was the sole provider. We got that fixed before it was actually paid by the county. We followed the recommendation. We have sent a letter to We Drive You expressing the county's request to receive reimbursement. We've had a couple of good meetings with Leslie Ashley and our procurement folks on this, most recently 2 weeks ago. And as the slide states, the discussions are still currently taking place to correct and remedy the issue. So right now, the county legal team and the We Drive You legal team are reviewing we've done it on the staff level, and now the legal teams of both entities are reviewing the county's request for that reimbursement. Moving on to finding number 3, the daily trip manifests were not being checked after the shifts. When this was discovered in December of 2024, the GM Ashley and her team immediately made a change in the way in which they reviewed and did a reconciliation at the end of the day. As you can see here, the finding was that a review of the 25 sample trips per month in November, December found discrepancies in the cash and coupons and strengthening the internal controls. You can see here for finding 3, the status is shown as complete. The greater oversight, Spare also has automated the system for the amount of coupons and cash that should be collected. There's monthly spot check inspections that are being done. And every month, once We Drive You provides the invoice, the County Transit Bureau established a checklist to review the manifest and to review the invoice monthly. And we have set up a revenue analysis to ensure that the revenues match the daily manifest reports. And of course, finally, those reconciliation procedures have been refreshed and retrained with staff to ensure data completeness on manifests is largely be automated with Spare. And finally, finding number 4, operational inefficiencies due to underutilized and misconfigured scheduling tools. Many of you all that are STAR users, if you ever had to call in on the day of your trip and you needed to make a change, you probably were on hold for some time because the call center would contact We Drive You, then We Drive You would contact the driver, then the driver would contact the dispatcher at We Drive You, then We Drive You would call the call center back. And so that inefficiency allowed for a lot of wasted labor time between basically the operator, the dispatcher at We Drive You, and the call center, and a lot of hold time for the passengers. So the recommendation was to provide a comprehensive training for the call center, looking at coming up with a booking engine, and that, of course, was completed with the introduction of Spare. Of course, we still have some tweaks that we're doing along with Spare as we are in month number, this is month 3, June, July, August, September. We are in month 4 of implementation. And so the Spare app has eliminated that incongruent and inefficient calling back and forth between the call center and the We Drive You and the passenger. So that's really an update of where we are. We have some that are completed. We have some that are underway, but we are actively working on being responsive to all of the county auditors' recommendations and audit. And our next audit update will be the first quarter of FY27, which they will take what we said in the management actions and responses and compare it to what has actually been done. And Chair Ashby, that is the quick and brief update on the audits.
Thank you, Clinton. Does anyone have any questions? Again, I know we're running late, but if you have any questions on the audit at this moment.
Madam Chairwoman, it's Ken.
Yes.
Mr. Edwards, when was the last time the STAR program was audited?
It is my understanding that the STAR program has never been audited by the county.
That's not
Interesting.
surprising.
Yeah.
Very
Well,
interesting. Uh, if I could further, so this idea of the metrics, which I never thought they told us much. I think the metrics that the auditor is looking for are people being picked up and dropped off within a reasonable time frame. Would you agree that that's what they're looking for, Mr. Edwards?
They were more so leaning on compliance with ADA standards, and that there is not an existing metric that covered the accurate oversight of the STAR program. So they wanted us to look at tweaking some of those. One of those was, of course, the ADA checklist. Let me go back one slide. We talk about here in coming up with an ADA compliance checklist that is currently in draft state and being moved forward to review. And then greater oversight of no-show data is being developed. We're working directly with We Drive You to come up with a trend analysis on that no-show data. We basically want to really know why on both the provider and the passengers as to why no shows are happening, because it's making no shows negatively impact the passengers that could have other passengers that could have had that trip, and it also negatively impacts the operation because now we send a trip out there and there's no one to actually utilize that trip.
so I have a question about the ADA checklist. Is that something that this subcommittee can look at and comment on?
See, why not?
Okay, I mean, I think we would appreciate being able to have some input into that.
And the Federal Transit Administration does have regulatory requirements for pickup and drop-off times.
Yeah.
Yes, and they also have, there's other standards as far as the length of a trip can't be more than 2 times that of the fixed route equivalent.
Right.
So there's definitely standards associated with providing specialized transportation through the Federal Transit Administration.
And so my question is, why was this not originally part of the contract? Who in the county didn't think to put these sort of key elements in the contract?
That I do not have an answer to. All I can say is that through the new contract, we're able to address these things. The previous contract was in its 10th year, so the contract that was in place prior was in place pre-2014 till 2024.
Right. But in this current contract, these elements were not included, correct?
So these elements, so what we're doing here is that we're actually strengthening the ADA compliance from the county oversight. Currently, ADA compliance is the direct responsibility of We Drive You and the call center. However, we wanted to have an enhanced level of county oversight on ADA compliance and not just rely solely on our contract service providers.
Okay, but that would have been something that could have been thought of when the contract was being negotiated, right?
Oh God.
It should have been. It should have been. I think that's the reality. Right?
Thanks.
Okay. I'm gonna draw this discussion to a close. If anybody wants to come to the 7 o'clock meeting, you are welcome to. I don't know, Rocco, if you're able to send the link out quickly for the 7 o'clock meeting to the committee members. If we could do that, that'd be very helpful. I want to mention to the committee, I am going to ask John Carton, the chair, tonight, if we can meet on a monthly basis. My understanding is I need to get the permission of the whole TAC to do that. I don't know if it's a voting issue, but I think for a while we will meet monthly. So I'm proposing that we meet next on October the 14th It's the second Tuesday of the month, and in line with what we've been discussing. So I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be bringing that up tonight with the entire TAC.
And Chair
So-
Asprey, I've reached out to the county manager's office's
Mhm.
committee and commissions liaison on that as
Mhm.
well. I don't know if
Mhm.
there's any other back end thing that needs to be done on the county side. I haven't heard back from her as of yet, but just
Okay,
making sure
well,
that we have all of
let,
our.
let me know. I think we're concerned enough that we need to meet more frequently for a while. I don't think this is a permanent change. So, okay. Anything else for the good of the group?
I'm not sure. Hello?
Yes.
Yes, my name is Edith Gravely, and I had difficulty accessing the meeting through Teams, and I was late getting on with public comment. So I know you're way past that. Is there any way that I can get my concerns to you guys?
If you can, yes, Edith, if you can be brief, we will hear you out.
Okay, I can be brief, and my concern is that my daughter, who has a disability, first and foremost, I guess I'll start. Can someone define for me what STAR means? Because I'm not sure that my understanding of what STAR is and what the actual understanding coincides. So can someone please tell me what STAR means? Other than specialized transportation for Arlington residents. I know that's what.
Yeah, and it's for people who have difficulty using fixed route transit for some or all of their transportation needs, and people with disabilities specifically.
Okay. My daughter, who has been a user of and has had the same driver for more than 10 years, I would think, to work. And when this sudden change occurred with her having different drivers, we had Uber, we had, I don't know, User, we had Diamond. I mean, there's just so many things, and we still don't have consistent drivers. My issue is that she has Down syndrome. She's not able to mentally understand, explain all of her needs so that they're explained. But when this change occurred, she had significant problems with her employment because consistency, routine is important to her. And with having the same driver who knew her routine and all of that, and my request when the change occurred was that she have the same driver. However, for whatever reason, I was told that she could not have the same driver. The same driver is still working with Diamond, and I don't know how Diamond works with YouServe and We Drive You, and I don't have a complete understanding of that. But my issue is the consistency, and why isn't she able to have the same driver if she's still available? And because she had so much difficulty, her work, she had to be pulled off of her routine because she had so much anxiety.
So have you
her
filed a complaint with the county through the STAR Center on this issue? Because it seems to me that she requires a reasonable accommodation, and I would urge you to do that. And a formal complaint, you can call, you can write it up, but I would encourage you to do that.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. This has been a good meeting. I apologize that it lasted so long, but we had a lot to get through. So thank you, Rocco. Thank you, Clinton. Thank you to We Drive You and the call center folks as well. So thank you so much.
I'm going to end the recording now.
All right, Dan. Bye-bye.